Hi, I am Rachel.
My name is Sel.
My name is Chelsea.
Hi, my name is Jess.
I can think of a couple situations where people have been surprised that I'm intelligent, and it's supposed to be a compliment, but it isn't.
Okay. I mean, just because you're a woman doesn't make you automatically intelligent, so... I mean, sure, I get being frustrated with a comment like that, but to act as if that's just applicable to only being a woman, that's just simply not true. Many men are underestimated when it comes to intelligence all the time, and being called brutes or pigs or boorish, you know, shit like that.
It's assumed that I don't know what I know, despite knowing.
I mean, that's just with people. Some people love being smartasses and being the one who's always correct on a lot of stuff. Like, I don't think that it's because you're a woman that people assume that you don't know, but with more that someone else thinks that they know more than you do. That's not exclusively a gender thing. It's not only men that do that with women. In fact, the exact opposite happens quite frequently, where women assume men don't know this, that, and the other. But the minute you try and refute their points or ideas, then that just becomes mansplaining, and you need to zip your lip because you don't know what you're talking about, or you're talking over a woman. Or to assume that you don't know because you're a guy, so you don't know what you're talking about on these issues. Do you see what I'm saying here?
So I like to shoot and edit in like technology, and I find that in a lot of kind of situations with predominantly men, like a lot of men talk down to you or are very condescending. It stops you from actually being able to ask questions. That means I won't learn. So it's kind of like everybody loses in that situation. Okay,
well, you said predominantly men, so for the most part men, but we can infer that that means some women fit into that narrative as well, yes? I mean, women can easily be condescending too. I mean, even in this whole video, I find it to be condescending as fuck. I mean, people can be condescending at times. That just happens.
If a woman spoke out something that was intelligent in a group discussion, she could be seen as someone who sees herself as above others. I've seen this with a few different girls, and I think it's always made me shy away from opposing male opinions in class, especially.
Well, that depends on how the person comes off. I mean, like we said earlier, if they come across as a know-it-all or very condescending, then yeah, people in that group probably wouldn't like that. I mean, in school, I was in several groups of people when working on projects and shit, and usually there are people who take charge and want to be the leader, and a lot of the other people's opinions are snuffed out, or they just don't speak up because, well, they don't care. This is just more of a lack of communication and a lot of self-doubt. However, all of you are just talking about personal experiences, which is fine, I understand, but just because you had this experience doesn't mean it's the exact same for everybody, especially just women.
Women have great opinions. It's strange that we're taught not to give our opinions.
I mean, no. I'm sorry, that's just not true. There are people who want to stifle others' opinions, but this happens to literally everyone who has an opinion on anything. Also, women have great opinions? Again, no. Like, why do they have great opinions? Because they're just women? Like, that's just not the case. Because there are women who do have shit opinions. Insert Anita Sarkeesian joke here. But some women can have bad opinions.
I think women feel like they have to protect themselves, and the easiest way to do that is to not speak as much. To kind of go with the flow, so you're not making any changes to your social group or your workplace, even if they really could be beneficial for everyone.
I mean, that just sounds like a personal problem to me. I mean, I can't believe that in 2017 that you're trying to say that you have no voice at all. Everyone has a voice for anything and everything. Really, if you don't speak up to what you believe in or to what you want to say, then really that's on you. I mean, take this video. Like, I doubt someone tried stopping you from making this video or YouTube trying to take it down because, oh fuck, women are giving their opinions, stop them!
I 100% have been thought of as aggressive. I think there's like ideas about what women should act like, and it's really frustrating because it's like all those things are very passive descriptions of femininity, which is irritating. So it's like you're always just gonna be aggressive. If you say like, hey, can you pass me that, instead of being like, excuse me, like if you have 5 spare moments, can you pass me that salt shaker? Like, I don't have time for that.
I mean, it's funny how you're complaining about being called aggressive when, like, at the very end of what you had to say, you come off as aggressive.
Like, I don't have got time for that.
I mean, you can come off multiple ways to people. There are different ways to ask people for something, and if you come across as aggressive, that's not because you're a woman, it's because you've acted aggressive, and people felt like you came off like that. This happens to me a lot. So that's just life, lady.
Most times that I ever act assertive or organized, I'm told that I'm aggressive.
Okay. I mean, I don't know who would ever think or act like that, but sure, let's go ahead and pretend they exist for a moment. Like, look, if you're being organized or you like having some sort of organization, that's fine. But if you force other people to be organized or force them to be organized in your own way, then yeah, I can understand someone thinking that you're aggressive. But other than that, that shit just doesn't happen. I'm sorry, but I don't think it does. If it does happen, it's pretty fucking rare then.
I was really excited to work this job. I was shadowing a male coworker who had been there for a few years, and he really did not like the idea of me pitching ideas. He probably saw it as stepping on his toes, and I was actually fired after a few weeks because I was too aggressive to the male employees.
Oh, well, that sucks. I mean, with all these stories that these women are telling in this video, the biggest thing that's lacking is context. Like, all these stories and shit are anecdotal, and we all just have to take your word that these versions of events unfolded as you say they did. But it's not like I don't believe you necessarily, it's just that I don't think you're giving us the entire story of what you've been saying. So I take what you say with a grain of salt. I'm sorry, I just kind of have to. I mean, companies fire people for stupid reasons, and in this video, I really don't think, out of all these women, that you're the aggressive one in any way. But then again, you might be. I don't know you. I don't know everything that goes on in your personal life. So you might have been aggressive. I don't know. No one really knows other than you. And you could be giving us a biased version of events.
Am I talking over people? Should I be listening? Am I being too aggressive? Am I being too bossy? And it's something I worry about being. My mom is a really strong and wonderful woman, and who has definitely been called aggressive and bossy in a negative tone. And she's someone I admire and want to emulate. But that one part, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's not attractive.
It's not that it's unattractive. It's just that people tend to prefer people who aren't bossy, who aren't consistently trying to take charge of every situation all the time, or being assertive about everything. Yeah, what a demanding thing. How dare people not want other people to act bossy or huffy over shit? How rude, and what a woman issue that is. Such an exclusively woman problem, huh? I didn't know your mom, so for all I know, you're painting her in a greater light. But maybe others just didn't think of her that way. Maybe others didn't see her that way. Maybe she acted differently around you and then differently towards others. Again, what's missing here is context, and without that context, this doesn't really mean shit. It just doesn't. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
I think that's my tactic, is to dispel situations through being nice.
It is beneficial in one's life to be polite. Do you know what I mean? To be kind to others, to treat everyone with respect, but those are like human things and they're not related to gender. The issue is why I'm expected to do it all of the time.
No one's expecting you to do it all the time. If you want to be mean and be a bitch to people, then go ahead and do it. But don't think there's not going to be a consequence in you doing so. Yeah, people will get pissed at you if you act like a dick. I mean, I just don't get the point in this. Who is telling you that you better be nice 100% of your life on a daily basis, especially when being confrontational? Please tell me who. You don't think men aren't expected to be nice, especially around women? You know how you deal with confrontation? You do it in a rational way. You don't need to be nice about it necessarily, but you also can't be frantic and loud and acting like a dick and wanting to pick fights. Jesus Christ, this is just so fucking stupid.
In my experience, it's the men in my life that I feel like I have to tiptoe around more. When I have something that I want to bring up, it's like, how can I bring this up to them in a gentle way, even with family, that's not going to hurt their feelings or emasculate them.
Again, it sounds like a personal problem. How you choose to interact with people and relay information to them is on you. It's not their fault because you feel like they might have their feelings hurt, or they might act this way or might act that way. You're never really going to know with people because people respond in different ways. So it's really kind of a gamble at times.
No matter what, If you are speaking your opinion in a concise way as a female, even if you have a straight face, I find that you do have to sprinkle it with a smile, or else people are gonna call you a bitch.
I mean, it just depends on how you're telling them. Like, if you're straight-faced, monotoned, or talking down to them, yeah, people are going to take it a wrong way. I've had this happen to me several fucking times. So I can understand this point in a way. However, still not just a woman issue. Sounds like more people issues, in my opinion.
I don't think it's a bad thing to be gentle. I think there's a lot of power and amazing things can happen with empathy and love and being a gentle force in the world.
I agree. I don't really have an issue with what you said here. I agree.
You know what? Why do women always have to be so on guard? And why do we have to go through all this emotional tumult all the time and walk on eggshells just so that we can live okay?
You don't. No one's making you do that.
I was in biology, so biology is often, and ecology has a large female representation, which is great, but by the time you're in grad school, it's definitely more men. I was working with one peer, and I had been working on my project for a year, and he was new, and before even seeing what I was doing, was like, oh, I'll show you how this works.
I mean, did he know about that time you were spending on it? Did you tell him how much time you were spending on the project? It seems to me like he wanted to help you, and you took it the wrong way. I mean, if you think he was an asshole, that's fine. But I don't think he did what he did because you're a woman, but because maybe he was an asshole or maybe he had some good intentions. I just don't get how you keep making the conclusion that it's because you're a woman.
All of my male peers have always been taken more seriously. When in a lot of ways, I don't think that they read as much as the women that I know. And I think that they frankly spew a lot more bullshit than a lot of the women I know. And they get away with it. And it's just bred through confidence. So walking into a room, talking about their opinions, getting a good job, getting in with the right people. I notice a lot of smart women who aren't offered the same things.
I'll agree that companies do play favorites when it comes to people. I've seen this before myself. However, women can talk bullshit like men do. Everybody talks bullshit. Lots of people will do and say anything to get ahead in life. I feel like you're painting the men in your story that you're talking about in a much more negative light. And these women that you're talking about, you, of course, build them up. Oh, look how smart they are. Oh, look how much more they read than these dumb men do. Oh, look how much more they work. And it seems to me like we aren't getting the full story here. And that's the video in a nutshell for me. It's very one-sided here. Like, this is severely lacking any nuance.
There isn't this like overlord who's like, you are a woman, 70 cents on the dollar. You know what I mean? It's more the way that we're socialized, right? So all the traits that are feminine are docile. So it's hard to ask for a raise or to demand your market value or higher. You're always taught to be as low key as possible. And it's kind of frustrating because men are taught that aggression and strength and all these things are positive. It's a circle of behavioral patterns that men are taught, right? And some are to the detriment, but when it comes to money, it absolutely is an advantage.
Am I the only one who got dizzy seeing the multitude of jump cuts just now?
They're positive. It's a circle of behavioral patterns that...
Anyway, I've never heard anyone ever say or teach that aggression with men is a positive thing. In fact, that's tend to look down upon when men are overly aggressive. Like strength, sure. I mean, that is one of the stereotypes that men have to face, is to be strong.
Women are equal to men in intelligence and ability, and research supports that. But we get treated extremely differently. And despite all of that, we're so resilient. We still bring so much to the world. We still are bringing incredible innovation and talent and joy all the time.
I agree with that, except with the whole we're treated extremely differently. I mean, everyone's treated differently. I mean, individual men in their lives are treated differently than individual women in their lives. You're never going to get the same experience and you're never going to get the same treatment from everybody. But to act like women are just a positive force in general is simply not true. It does depend on the person, and you can't put all women in one vacuum and put all men in another vacuum.
It's so hard. When you're a young girl, you walk this fine line of wanting to be attractive, beautiful, you want to be really well liked, you want to be smart but not too smart. It's tough, and intelligence will probably take you farther. That's how all the women CEOs of the world and people who are women that own companies get their power, is really by respect, and it takes a long time of being called a bitch. It's okay to not be liked.
Wow, yeah, what scintillating advice you just gave there.
I don't think you are beautiful or intelligent. Like, if you want a popping body, you can have that if you want to work out. If you want to be a neurosurgeon, Ben Carson already delegitimized that, but if you want to do that for the people, then you should go ahead and do that. Whatever the variables in your life that you want, you can have it. And you just have to go ahead and get it. But you don't have to just be one thing.
I agree with that as well. I just wish the rest of it wasn't, oh, woe is me, look how hard I have it because vagina. Like, if everything that you girls have said is true, then this advice means nothing. Because in the video, you've basically told other women, this is what it's like being a woman. Expect this. And it's weird how this 180 is now happening. How it goes from, we're oppressed and the world is against us, to, oh, you can be whatever you want to be. Do whatever you want. The sky's the limit.
Women are the mothers of everyone in the world. And I think that's a really cool thing to think about.
Great advice, because that didn't sound retarded in the slightest. Like, are you stoned right now? Because if you are, I'm willing to buy some off of you.
Just think about how much better the world could be and can be if more women are at the top running it.
That depends on the woman. Like, if Hillary was running shit in America right now, oh boy, no. No, fuck that. But to act as if though it would be better if a woman would be running it is complete nonsense. Like, what if their ideas and positions are the opposite of yours? Or what if their ideas are bad and harmful? Ah, well, at least they're a woman, so it's okay. You get my vote.
Everyone should be a feminist. It's not a bad word. Women really do make everything better.
Yeah, no, that's total horseshit. First, if someone doesn't want feminism, they shouldn't be forced to have it. That's their choice if they don't want feminism or don't like feminism. It has its flaws and it has its dogma, just like every other ideology or every other group of people in the world. Second, women make everything better? What does that even mean? Yeah, because women are just so great in general and can never be mean or nasty, can never lie or manipulate, never steal or commit crimes. Unlike men, God, this video was fucking dumb. Seriously, this video did give me a headache. I mean, it just seems like you girls have a lack of confidence and have a lot of self-doubt, which I understand because I have that as well. But I just don't make it an exclusive problem for my club or for just me. And to blame others for it or to try and say that it's something that it's not. They should have called this video Problems the Movie. Oh, and happy International Women's Day, everybody. Even though it was yesterday.